Let's talk about mental health in the workplace. Good mental health in the workplace. When we hear the term mental health, we usually take our minds to what is considered poor mental health. We think about depression, anxiety, being overstressed, not being able to make good decisions, being pushed for time that cause us to be sometimes quite nervous. And then we think about the treatment of poor mental health with psychology, or where people are able to talk to you and guide you to find your own answers, or psychiatry, where people are able to, doctors able to talk to you and prescribe medication for you to help you deal with these stresses and these anxieties and what is considered poor mental health. And then, of course, there is our friends that we go to with our conversations, the mama and the daddy, the auntie, the cousin, our pastors, friends that we know, people that we've grown up with, because they offer to us a listening ear, because we need somebody to talk to when we are having difficulties and causing us poor mental health. Mental health, the definition that I have embraced is from the health organization, the World Health Organization, and it just says that mental health is a state of well-being. You just feel good about yourself, and they put it in 4 different areas. One is to realize your own abilities, to know what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. Number 2 is to be able to cope with the normal stresses of life, things that happen on a daily basis, things that are common in everyday living. Number 3 is to be able to be productive in the workplace, to be able to go to work and be productive and do a good job. And then number 4 is to be able to make contributions to the community. These are signs of having good mental health. What we find out is that in many cases, we don't consider these things until something happens. It's when our situations get uncomfortable that we feel now we need to find some kind of help. And it becomes more reactionary than preventive. And I want to encourage us today to think about it in a preventive way. Yes, we work in highly active and aggressive environments. There are systems in place. There are protocols in place, things that you're supposed to do, things that you are not supposed to do. There are rules in place that are supposed to level everybody so everybody knows their part. And then if those rules are broken, then it eliminates all those gray areas. This is just what you did, and you get rewarded for that, and you get disappointed for that. Now, although these things are in place, that is not who we are. We are not robots. We can't be programmed and just respond without any kind of feelings. And we're not computers where you can just turn us off, turn us on without having that human element there. We are alive. We are people. We are alive. We have feelings. We have ideas. We are a trichotomy. We are soul, mind, and body. And just as every part of us needs to be healthy in a way, our mind needs to be healthy. Good mental health is important, and it requires, I believe, our attention. Something that we need to really consider about ourselves, how we are doing with our mental health. As an educator, my days are filled with people and children and students every day, a different group of people, different group of children. And so I have to be able to do my best to be able to address everyone that I meet, every classroom, every adult in a positive way. And that requires good mental health. So I want to share with you 2 things that I have learned to do. Number 1, I say this to myself, and this is my middle name. I say to myself, Cecile, you need to rest your mind. Put your mind at rest. Now, listening to things, doing things, reading books, things like that still keep you active mentally. So what you're really doing is trading one activity for another. And that's not what I mean. I mean, really, just rest your mind. Don't think about anything. Don't worry about anything. Just have yourself a moment or two of just quiet where your mind is free to think. When my children were younger, my husband would say to them, when your mom get home from work, I want the house quiet. And I would go to my room, and I had 2 hours to just refresh, and really I just took a nap and rested my mind. So I want to encourage you, when the day is done or when you have opportunities, don't trade one activity for another. Really just find yourself someplace and rest your mind. The second thing that I have learned to do is to think on things differently. Of course, I live by biblical principles, and there is a scripture from Apostle Paul in the book of Philippians that gives us some directions on how to think. Let me read them to you. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are good, of a good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. There's a possibility that when you are faced with something or have to make a decision or draw a conclusion, and you choose to think on the good of it, the good report, the pure thing, the honest thing, the lovely thing, you may find yourself in a workplace where you can have joy, where you can make contributions and feel good about them. Let me encourage you today. Find a way to rest your mind. And secondly, as you are moving in the workplace and making decisions in your home and family, wherever you may be, think on the good things. Think on the good report. There was a movie, famous movie, an epic movie in 1939, Gone with the Wind. And the lead character there was Scarlett, played by Vivien Leigh. And in that final scene, after quite a traumatic experience, she looked and said, after all, tomorrow is another day.